In this video I'm going to explain the priming system on the Lee Loadmaster reloading press. First, here's how to load the primer tray. Just dump the primers into the tray, shake the tray back and forth, dump the remainder of the primers into the tray, finish shaking, and put the lid on. I made a tool from an idea Shadow Dog gave me. It's made of sheet metal and keeps the primers from falling out of the tray as it's placed on the primer arm. Push the tray onto the arm, slip the tool out, shake the tray a little to get the primer started down the arm. That's it. Here's how the primers are fed. A case pushes back the primer lever, which is allow primer to drop into place. As the ram rises, that primer is pushed into place under the case. A rocker arm on the left side of the press pushes the primer up into the case. This shows how the case pushes the primer lever back as it indexes. Here you can see the primers drop as one falls into place. As the ram rises, the primer wedge arm pushes the primer lever toward the front of the press and pushes the primer to place under the case. On the left side of the press is the primer rocker arm. As the ram rises, it presses down the rocker arm, which pushes the primer up into the case. This bolt adjusts the primer depth. When lubricating the press, apply grease to the hole in the center of the shell plate and near the center of the shell plate. Don't apply grease under the end of the ejector or on the bottom of the shell plate, or grease may get into the priming mechanism. If there's a problem priming the case, you'll need to remove that case before it goes to the powder measure. I use a tool used to open paint cans to push the case retainer out of the way. This allows case removal. And pulling the case retainer back into place is easy too. Pull it a little further than necessary. The next case will push it out the proper amount. Now for things to watch for while reloading. At the top of the stroke, it's easy to see how many cases are left in the front feeder tube. It's also easy to see how many primers are left in the tray. The most important thing to check here though is to check the depriming pin is not pushed up. This ensures that the case in Station 1 has been properly deprimed. On the downstroke, just as the press is indexing, check to make sure the primer's dropped. This is very important. Now at the bottom of the stroke, check the powder level in station 4. This is the bullet placement station. It's very easy to do with the Loadmaster. It's right there in easy view. Also check the next case to be fed into the station 1 and make sure it isn't upside down. I installed 2 white LEDs on the press. This one shines down on the charged case in station 4. The other is above the primer arm to illuminate the primers as they drop. That's it. I hope this video helps you understand a little more about the operation of the Lee Loadmaster press.